Hey guys. Hey guys. Welcome to another episode of Hello World with your girl Joy from Be the Difference Clothing. How is everyone doing this beautiful, wonderful Sunday? I hope you are amazing. I hope you're doing well. I'm here to inspire and encourage you as much as possible. So, hey, we have a member. We have a member. And it's Jazzy Nicole. Hey, girl, how are you? Hey, Shay's World. Shay's World, you crazy. Hey, Limitless, what's going on? Oh, snap, Sugar Love. Hey, Mama Ray Ray. Shout outs to Mama Ray Ray. She got monetized as of like 2 days ago. Shout outs to you. J Dog in his house. How are you guys doing? Y'all, funny as ever. Let me tell you, I was hanging out a little bit last night, and y'all funny people, cool people. Yes. Mama Ray Ray, did you see the Instagram message I sent you? I sent you a couple of things on Instagram. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Hey, the Perkins Life, how are you? How's it going? How's it going? I was thinking about you the other day, Sugar Love. You know why? Because I was remembering when you used to document what's his name? Nature Boy. When you used to do those videos. So I was just thinking about you. Yeah. How's the little girl doing, Jazzy? I know she probably gonna wish that she just slept all day now. I know you are. She probably crawling around over there now too, right? Hey, Life with Nicole, how are you? What's going on with y'all? Let me see if I'm buffering. I need to check to see if I'm buffering really quick. I don't always say that. Lot going on in our world right now. There's a lot of stuff going on, but I think there's more important things for us to be talking about besides world. Okay, there's not that. That's not. Besides that, trying to see if I'm buffering. Everything that I'm opening is just like commercials. Just ads keep coming up. She's crawling and knocking on wood, is sleeping. I know when they start crawling, that's when it gets even more scary. Cause it's like, oh gosh, why don't you just sleep already, please? But when they start crawling, they want to really start moving around a lot. They want to start going through doors. They want to start opening doors. And you know how like they're not balanced all the way yet. And if they slip, they little fingers be all slimy with the saliva from their mouth on their fingers. And if they slip on a doorknob, they can fall back. Oh gosh. That is the scariest moment. I can almost, oh, okay, I'm not buffering. I just, just a few times that have been around little infants, and it just, I think the crawling in the beginning of the walking stage is when I was just like, oh gosh, what happened to the newborn days when you just slept for 96 hours? Anyway, Octavia said, hey, Octavia. Um, Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on your notification bells. If you can't give me a thumbs up or down, whichever one you prefer to do is fine by me. And I need to share out the stream too. I need to share the stream. Y'all, I tell you, today was a pretty interesting day. I will share what happened to me today. Let me share that while I'm sharing this. How are you feeling today, Shay's World? I hope you're feeling a lot better today than before. If y'all don't know Shay's World, you need to go check her out. She funny, y'all. Funny as ever. I'm just going to share. Okay. So let me tell you, while I'm sharing the stream, let me tell you what I did today. I actually was paused right there. I'm buffering. Um, so I woke up this morning and let's talk. And I was gonna initially go back to sleep, but then I said, nah, I'm not gonna go back to sleep. And I was like, do I really want to go to the gym today or should I just wait till tomorrow? Y'all, you know how it is when you know good well you have to do this thing and it's going to require you to be uncomfortable and feel uncomfortable just for a few moments. And then you're just like, So I was like, let me get my lifeline. I text my friend and I was just like, what time you going to the gym? No, good well, she wasn't going to no daggone gym. So I said, well, if she doesn't go, then I won't go. Then I was like, Joy, you cannot hold on to people in order to do things in life. Take that for yourselves. You can't hold on to people in order to do things for yourself in life. So I just decided to go ahead and go to the gym. So I went to the gym this morning and it was good. I got a nice little workout in, but I have a crook in my neck right now and my leg is hurting. My hip leg is hurting. So, but it feels good. Guys, I did some moves that I forgot how to do some of the exercises. And then I was just like, wow, the most I could do with there's an exercise where you have to hold the weight out and then go like this. And I used to be able to do it with a 15-pound barbell dumbbell. I could only do it with a 10-pound dumbbell and it was heavy as ever. And I was like, wow, I'm really trying to build back up. And I could only use the bar instead of like the bar with weights to go over the head, to go over the head. I was so tempted to go live this morning. Then I was like, no, because y'all might start saying something about my mask. My mask was right here the whole time. I don't know if I can get used to it being up here. I just don't know. Maybe one day, but it wasn't today. So it was down here. And I was by myself. There was nobody around me. And I used the leg press machine. So I was like, okay, my legs are starting to come back a little bit. But I need to get back and go maybe 2 times more in a week. So maybe 3 times a week I need to go to the gym because that used to be my home, y'all. A lot has changed there. I saw a few people that I used to go and see regularly. I saw a few of them. Then I saw a few faces that I've never seen before. But it was a good experience nonetheless. I haven't jumped on a treadmill yet. I don't know if I want to, mainly because I just got my hair done and I don't want to sweat it out just yet. So I was like, let me just stick with like just the free weights and hopefully not sweat too much doing that. Hey, animal lover. Oh, animal lover, how's it going? You will get back to where you need to be. Hey, Jeanette. Woo, woo, woo. Babies in the building. How's everything going on your end, animal lover? Um, And so once that was done, I started editing a video that I posted today. And what else did I do? Oh, I made cauliflower tacos. Yep. I was going to do it with like the breading and stuff. And then I was like, you know what, Joy? You've been eating a lot of processed stuff lately. And for a good while, I've been staying away from processed things. And I was like, you know what? Let me just stay away from that. So it was good. And I've been on an avocado kick too. So that what Octavia or anyone else that may know, what does avocados produce? Like what nutrient does avocados produce? Because if you pay attention to your body, you will notice that when you start craving certain things, your body is probably needing it. I mean, I can't explain sugar. I can't explain sugar at all. There's no explanation for the sugar because I just think it's part of an addiction, like that fructose or whatever called. My mom passed. Oh, I'm sorry, animal lover. I hope that she was able to catch whatever you said to her. How was everything by you though? Like, did you feel good? Like, well, not like you can feel good, but did you at least feel resolved that you got to message her at all? I'm sorry. Healthy fats. Okay, so I'm missing healthy fats. So that's why I've been craving avocados for the last week or so. I never liked it, but it is what it is. I know you probably don't want to talk about that, but I'm here with you. I'm struggling. She wrote me a letter that she wrote when I was 8. She wrote me a letter that she wrote when I was 8. Oh, C, E, K, and B6. Lord, I'm missing all of those. I have been taking the vitamin C, Octavia. I must need to boost it up higher. Vitamin K. Who would have known there was a vitamin K that you could be missing in your body? Omega 3s, the fatty fats. Yep. Just like what Sugar Love said. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. But I hope that things get a little easier. I hope that things resolve a little bit more for everyone. We don't know what the future holds, but sometimes things do go right. Potassium is vitamin K. Oh, okay. Bananas. Yuck. I hate bananas. Y'all ever notice anything with potassium is always slimy? Ew. And I don't like slimy anything. Yeah, Shay's girl, potassium with them nasty bananas. Yuck. She guys is the one who came up with that banana hot sauce and banana cotton candy challenge. Yuck. But tonight I wanted to talk about when no one is willing to help. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who's going to be on Hello World maybe next week or so, and he wanted to talk about whatever it is he wanted to talk about. I don't want to talk about the topic now because I'm going to wait for him to do it. But what came to mind was when no one is willing to help. Now, let me make this very clear. As human beings and as people that are amongst each other and whatever, we are supposed to help each other, okay? Let's make that very clear because I think sometimes we feel like, oh, well, I don't have to. Yes, you do. We are mandated by just birth alone to help each other, right? I.e., when you have an infant, you're supposed to help them, feed them. You're supposed to help them hold their bottle until they can hold it themselves. We are mandated to help each other from birth, okay? But somewhere along the line, we think like, oh, well, I'm not helping this person because I just don't want to, or I'm not helping that person because they may get ahead of me, or I'm not helping them because they're not going to do it my way. Since when does you helping someone have to deal with your assumptions and putting your assumptions and your assertions on other people? Helping means you insert and let go. Once the baby knows how to hold their own bottle, you let go. Now your hands are free to do something else, to help somewhere else. So, yes, never ever think in your mind and out, let's never ever think in our minds that at some point in time when we don't need to help people, because yes, you do. Because guess what? If you don't help people, then guess what? Don't complain when nobody wants to help you. And don't be the type of person who always likes to give help but doesn't want it in return. That is a selfish helper. And that's a lot of pride if you can't receive when people are very willing to do so. So, okay, now that that's out the way, when no one is willing to help in anything, you've got to dig deep and find a way to go ahead and go on. It's not easy, but nothing in life is ever easy. I always think about the analogy of babies. You think it's easy to come out of a womb? Somebody tugging on your neck, tugging on your body, cutting things off, cutting your food supply off, wiping you down, taking these, stretching you out, butt naked in front of all these people, got lights that you've never seen before. And everybody's sticking their fingers in your mouth, trying to take stuff out of your mouth. You're like, come on. Poking things in your eyes, putting drops and all that stuff, and just putting hats on your head when you never had a hat on, trying to remold your roundness of your head. Like, it's painful. But yet and still they survive. They calm down and then they start to grow and get used to something that they've never experienced before in their life. And I always wonder, like, why is it that people have no patience when they have to go endure all of that? Just so you can be like, "Ooh, Google, gaga." Then you got your big old face in it. Like your face is this big to them. And they're like, get away from me. You're not even communicating on my own level. Imagine that. Babies are so highly intellectual that we can't even communicate at their level. And then they dumb themselves down to communicate with us. At least I think of it that way. Because to endure all of that, the first very moments of your life before you can even say, well, anyway, back to when no one is willing to help. After I've digressed a little bit, it's always going to be a battle somewhere in life. So when you feel like, because a lot of times it's us. Let me not say you, it's us coming up with the notion that no one is willing to help. I think that's a big myth that we practice too much. There's tons of people that are willing to help, but are you willing to accept it? I don't believe that anymore, that there is no one that's willing to help. That's just a myth. See, that's again how we use our vernacular in the wrong context. We simulate and formulate sentences that end up turning things into impossibilities. See, because when an infant doesn't know how to dumb themselves down to communicate with us, they are living free. And they can fly like an eagle, like literally. I saw something on Instagram with his kid. It was like at least 13 steps. He had on his little Superman cape and he just went whoop. He jumped down the whole thing. He jumped down the whole thing. And the parent was just like, oh my goodness, you could have died. Like, they didn't think anything of it. It's like, oh, I'm just jumping. He jumped the whole entire staircase. And if he would have lost his grip, he didn't think anything about losing his grip. He didn't think about anything about, oh, well, nobody's willing to help if something happens to me. He wasn't thinking about that. But we think about too many consequences before you even try to do anything. And then we top it off with no one is willing to help me. There are tons that are. Are you seeking out help? That's number one. Are you seeking out help without selfish gain? These are just things that we can consider, and I'm considering it too as well. Are we seeking without selfish gain? Are we seeking help in the right areas, in the right ways? Hey, Dr. Jazz, we have a member. We have a member, and it's Dr. Jazz. Hey, hey, Zaya Rose, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, Ten Veils, how are you? So, are you looking for the proper help, right? Because sometimes we look for help that's too advanced. Yes. Sometimes we look for help in too advanced places. You want to become, let's use an example, a hypothetical example. You want to become a millionaire. So you think that you think that it's okay for you to knock on the door of a millionaire and say, hey, can you help me? How dare you even attempt to knock on that door? Let me explain why. You've never done anything in order to pursue what a millionaire has to do in order to get to that step into that phase. Because if you did, then you would have more respect than to go banging on somebody's door. Because if you did, you would understand the protocol as to what you would do in order to knock on the door in a proper way. See, that's for asking for help in the too advanced things, right? Sometimes we're like, well, I want to get from A to Z instead of getting all in the middle parts of it. You don't know your alphabet, but you know A to Z. You just know A and Z. And I'm going to just digress just for one moment. If any billionaires are out there, maybe listening in the replay or maybe even here because we don't know. Because I guarantee you, you never know who ends up in your chat. Sometimes the bushes have people in there that you would never imagine, right? So I'll give you one quick thing, and then we'll go back to my story. So one day in this particular chat, someone came in who is a really, really well known, someone in their arena came in, typed in the chat, and first I was like, could that be? And I was like, I don't know. And it was a night when I only had like maybe 5 or 6 people here. And I didn't want to throw any shine on them, like, be like, oh my goodness, is that you? I didn't want to do that. But I say that to say you never know. And when I did my history and I did my like research on that name, it actually came up to be the actual person. They have like at least 7 million people that follow them. How they ended up on my page, I don't know. But guess what? YouTube puts us to where we're supposed to be when we need it. And then I can tell you why I knew it was them because I was on their Instagram feed and they used some specific particular words that I had used that night when they were here. And I was like, oh, yeah, you were there. Confirmed. Anyway, so dear billionaires, I challenge you to do something that you may have never, ever done before. Maybe, I don't know. I challenge you to turn a homeless person into a working person. That's 2 things you guys have in common. You want to know what they have in common? A billionaire does what it takes to get to where they are and sees things that we, the common people who will never see that, does, right? Homeless person sometimes have to do things that we would never have to do because we've never been in a position of not having and doing what we had to do in order to get a little bit. So that's why I say those 2 have a lot more in common than we do. So I challenge you because you have never ending money that will last you maybe eons of lives, maybe 12 generations of your history trait. So you can afford to do so. Challenge yourself to turn a homeless person who is willing into something of a phenomenon. I challenge you because while I have the heart and the fortitude to do so, I don't have the money. And if I were a billionaire, you know what $1 billion is? And that be a person that just has $1 billion. It just is ridiculous. You have a ridiculous amount of money. It means like when you blink, you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe in an hour or a minute. That's what a billionaire is, all right? So you can put on a project that your peers haven't even started doing. And I guess what? You would have started a trend. So for the billionaires out there, if you are out there and you hear this, that's my challenge to you. Instead of investing in things that you don't necessarily need because you've already acquired that and then, trying to buy rockets to out buy your next friend, your other billionaire friend, take on a bigger challenge that you nor your friends could fail at. Yes. Do a challenge that you could possibly fail at. So back to when nobody is willing to help you. Are you asking for the help in the right places? Are you taking it step by step instead of trying to jump steps? That's another thing too. Sometimes we're like, nobody wants to help me, but you haven't even taken down or torn down the pride enough to even get the help that you need. Be focused enough, be led enough to the help that you need. Are you willing to do any of those things? Are you willing to accept not being instant gratified to getting the things that you want? Because the times when you get the things that you want and you put no work behind it, you don't understand the gratitude behind it or have it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But there are very few people who can just say, drop $1 billion in my lap and I'll do it the right way. And I will be thankful and I'll show so much gratitude to the person that actually gave it to me. Very few people will know how to even deal with that. They're too busy, be like, oh, let me get out of let me go roam entire world. Because if you had $1 billion, you could just roam the entire world and not work another day in your life. Because by that time, your money's just working for you. Have you educated yourself enough to even come to the point where you can ask for help? Because again, you can't just go around asking people for help if when they say, okay, I'll help you, and you don't even know what what to lead them into doing. So I don't ever want to hear anybody else say that nobody is willing to help me. That's a cop out. It is. It's a cop out. And they're words that should be erased from your vocabulary, or that sentence should be erased from your vocabulary. Somebody is always willing to help, but you've got to activate the right places in order for that thing to happen. See, and that's why they say hard work pays off. That's when it makes sense, right? You saw the light bulb and see how bright it got just a minute ago. that's when the light bulb that's when the light bulb turns on. When you finally understand that hard work really does pay off. Because then you've nurtured why you are absolutely a candidate of accepting good help. And you've absolutely nurtured where you need to seek out that help. And you've absolutely nurtured yourself and your soul in order to be in the right place at the right time for that help. Hey, short boss, what's going on? Plus, they will be known as well to do that since you can't take money with you. Yeah, you might as well. It is a ridiculous amount of money, $1 billion. And we all sit there and be like, oh, well, this person has $1 billion. That's great. No. How great is that? I mean, how great is that? Like seriously, y'all. I mean, I know we all wish that we had boatloads of money. I can't even say it. I'm sure we all wish we had boatloads of money and think that it's going to solve a lot of things, but it doesn't. Because again, we don't know the sacrifices or the things that people who have a boatload of money have to do on a daily basis. They're the ones that have to hire security. They're the ones that may have to have taste testers. They're the ones that they may have to go through a couple of chefs in order to get somebody that's not going to try to kill them. They're the ones that might be getting death threats. I mean, maybe I know I'm not getting any death threats, thankfully. But imagine, got to think of it on both ends. While it'd be nice to have the luxurious life and to be taking showers in crystals or to be taking shower in milk and honey, or not even that, or just to be carried from destination to destination might be nice, but at what cost? Back to saying that nobody is willing to help. Erase that thought. Somebody is always willing to help you. So if you're the type of person at this very moment that may be discouraged, thinking that nobody wants to help you, do whatever it is, doesn't even have to be about business. It could be about simple things in life. Somebody is willing to help you. I done told y'all already there was another YouTuber that I have been watching in the past couple of days. Um, who feeds the needy. And there are plenty of people cash apping. There are plenty of people sending donations to stores for them to pick up in order to make food for shelters. Well, not shelters, but food for the homeless. Okay? So let go of that pride. Dang, still ain't even past 30 minutes. I don't understand that. I swear I was here for like an hour. So know that somebody is always willing to help you. But you i.e., we have to put ourselves in position and position ourselves in order to be in the receptive mode of receiving help and to asking the right people at the right moment, at the right time for the help that you need. Now, I'm not going around saying ask everybody for help because then we'll know. Not everybody's going to be willing to help. And then you'll use that excuse. Well, see, I told you so. No, you don't ask just anybody. Do you ask just anybody to go and date? Do you ask just anyone to be your spouse? Do you ask just anyone to give you money? Do you ask just anyone to be your employer? No. So don't just go around asking just anybody for whatever particular things you need help in. Think of it that way. You don't just ask any old random person to watch your children, right? It doesn't make sense, right? So that's how we need to start looking at it. You don't just ask anybody to help you. Because then if you do, of course you're going to be like, see, I said Joy doesn't know what she's talking about. Nobody wants to help me. You only pound because you didn't ask the right people. Your motives may not have been pure. I also want to insert that we should all start making our motives pure in everything that we do. Life will be a lot easier when you have your motives pure because you're not hurting anyone. So therefore, you're not going to or should not receive hurt back in return. When you have a pure heart or try to have a pure heart, say, well, how do I have a pure heart? Stop focusing on you. Stop focusing on the I and then focus on the we. That's how when your motives start to become pure. Will there be moments when you get aggravated? Yes, of course. There's always going to be moments of aggravation. There's always going to be moments of disappointment. But if you are in a pure spirit, you won't let that thing hold you back the way it may have in the past. Don't ever let your past come back and haunt you or direct you anymore. Sometimes we let our past haunt us and therefore directs, right? Directs the rest of our life into that. Nothing ever works out. Speak with your words. Stephanie 50 and Climbing always talks about that with her kids when she's doing her daycare. Speak with your words. Pride is a killer, yes. Hey, JY, what's going on? Pride does kill a lot of things. Kills a lot of great things. Kills a lot of great ambition. It sabotages the purity of your soul. Yes, pride sabotages the purity of your soul. You cannot tell me that an infant is rotten. It's purity, and that's what you were when you were first birthed until, people started inserting their oppositions to life and inserting their prejudices into your life and then filled you up with their garbage. Now we have to empty it all out with the purity that we used to have and was born with. Not used to, because we're still eligible for purity. We are still eligible for purity. Yes. It just takes time for you to go back into that nurturing position, go back into that silence, go back into that student, let me be taught by the teacher mode. And whoever you believe your teacher is, whether it be God, your maker, or creator, whomever, right? Because we all have different faiths and we all believe in different things, right? So I respect that. It is what it is. Don't just try to convince me otherwise differently what I believe, because I won't do it to you. Unless you have questions and then you're like, well, I was questioning, you know what I mean. We all still have purity in us. And we all can still activate that purity. I don't care what's going on in your life, because the pure things have the power to change the bad things. And imagine if a bunch of pure things changing the power of one thing. I use another example. Remember the last Iron Man? He gave up his one life to defeat the opposition of a legion of destruction. That one pure thing. Imagine if we all band together. Nothing can stop it. I mean, gosh, they tell us in movies, Superman can save the world. And he always does. The movies tell us all the time, purity always wins. Light always defeats dark. But yet it's a concept that we do not practice. Why? Oh yeah, I was supposed to be talking about when nobody's willing to help, right? Well, so what? We digressed a little bit. It's a true topic. The movies tell us. The Bible tells us. I don't know about the Quran. I've never read anything else. But meditation says it. Gandhi says it. All of the peaceful people say it. But yet we don't believe it. Why? I believe it. Hey, oh man, I almost spit my water out. Hey, Sitting Bo, what's going on? Think back to the power that we all have. Not think back, but think forward. Think forward to the power that we all really have. And while it may be harder to like really be an impact to our communities versus just a subtle dusting of entertainment to our communities, so many gifts out there, so much talent out there. And each and every single one of us are little activators. And what happens when we don't even do our talent to help activate other things? We get these gaps, right? Oh, these kids don't have respect. We've not been activating them. Can we blame them? But it's their parents. We've not been activating them. Maybe they don't need to be around those specific parents, but if they're around you and they want to be around you, those precious moments is when you can be activating them. And if we can massage the mental health issues out, maybe it's a long shot, maybe not, but it's worth thinking about. Maybe they wouldn't have to be self-medicated. Love does cure a lot of things. I think if we tried that a lot more, it might work. Oh, she don't know what she's talking about. Okay, that's fine. But until any one of us try it, we can't knock it. Well, 40 minutes got to go. I appreciate you guys for being here. On Hello World, we talk about everything and anything, sometimes some tough topics. And tonight was probably a really tough topic. I know it touched on my nerves a little bit. It's hard to talk about, oh, let's talk about love, and oh, let's talk about all these fluffy things, because we've been taught that those fluffy things don't exist and don't last. That's what we've been taught. But those fluffy things that don't exist and don't last have been the very things that motivate us. You have a spouse, right? You have children, right? And you do what? because you want to see them happy, right? You can't tell me love don't work. If you ever want to get to know anything more about Be the Difference Clothing or me, go to BeTheDifferenceLLC.com. You can get a book, you can get a book, a hoodie, t-shirt, tank top, socks, whatever you want, right there. I am here every single night between 7 and 9. We talk about everything and anything. And I hope that the rest of your evening is as amazing as maybe your day went. Animal lover, if you're still here, I will keep you in my thoughts. And let me tell you, I was thinking about you today when I was at the gym. And what I was thinking was how you were talking about the kids, how you have your kids on the training thing. And that's what kept me moving. That's what kept me moving when I was just like, okay, I should put this bar down. I was like, no, you're supposed to finish. 2 more to go. And that finishes your set. So yes, I was thinking about you. So, guys, until we meet again, my name is Joy from Be the Difference Clothing, and I am signing out on another episode of Thank you for giving me a little bit of your time each and every time. Hello, world. Yes.